Two close relations of the President's District Chief Executive nominee for Wa West collapsed. Ali Bukhari collapsed after he was totally rejected by the 41-member assembly. The two were quickly rushed to the Wa West District Hospital for treatment. The President's nominee, who doubles as the Upper West Regional Communication Director of the MPP, polled 15 yes votes and 26 no votes. This leaves the nominee another round of confirmation within 10 days. Joining us Upper West correspondent Rafiq Salam reports that supporters of the nominee attempted to attack the outgoing DC, Edward Labiri Sobo, who is accused of being behind the rejection and has to be whisked away by the police to safety.
Following the refusal of Lora and Juba municipalities to confirm the president nominees to their assemblies, Upper West Regional Minister Dr. Hafiz bin Sali and his team had wished Wechiau, capital of the Wa West District, should not be another Waterloo for them. This he pleaded with the 41 assembly members to do well by voting to give an overwhelming endorsement to the confirmation and Upper West Regional Communications Director of the MPP, Ali Bukhari.
He is not a stranger that the government is trying to impose on the people of Wa West. He hails from this area and he's one of you. And I believe strongly that because of that, you're going to give in an overwhelming endorsement.
The end result was, however, an overwhelming rejection of the further of four by the Assembly.
We have 41 honorable members present and voting. So the yes was 15, representing 36.58%. And then the no vote was 26, representing 63.41%.
Upper West Regional Minister Dr. Hafiz bin Sali was disappointed about the results and has these few words for the Assembly. We would have said that we will return here within 10 days, but that is not the case. This is a total rejection of the nominee. I will have to inform the President for the next line of action. Supporters of the nominee were not only shocked about the results, but angered. As a result of that, they vent their anger on the outgoing DCE, Edward Labiri Sobo, who they accused of being the mastermind of the total rejection of the nominee. He was nearly attacked, but for the presence of the police, who whisked him away to safety. Edward Labiri Sobo has, however, strenuously denied those allegations leveled against him. Two female close relatives who were unhappy about the rejection of the nominee collapsed and were rushed to the Wa West District Hospital. Reporting for J News, Rafiq Salam, Wechiau.
I was asking, what is the fate of the two people who we know collapsed at the approval of the MC?
One thing that I can tell you, what actually happened yesterday really shocked many at the Wa West District capital. The latest information we have is that one of the two women who collapsed during the process, one of them has been pronounced dead at Tandigra at the moment. So that's the latest information now.
You said dead?
Dead.
Okay, so is this death, at what point was this person declared dead at the hospital? And who's that person?
What actually transpired at the assembly that it was really shocking for many observers. But some people, they attributed the blame to the president's nominee himself, because they think that he didn't do a lot of hard work. He didn't beat some of the assembly members. And so accusing fingers have been pointed to he himself. So what?
All right, we seem to be having some challenges with Rafiq's connection there, but what we're learning is that one of the two people who collapsed at the approval of that MCE has passed on. We'll get you details. We want to know more about this person who we're learning has collapsed. But also in another region, the Bono East regional ministers appealing to chiefs and opinion leaders to persuade assembly members of Nkranza South and Pru East to accept or reconsider the DC nominees for these two areas after the two were rejected by the assemblies. The Bono East Regional Minister Kwesi Edujang has begun a series of engagements with assembly members of Nkranza South and Pru East to accept the DC nominees for these areas after voting against the confirmation of the two. The two nominees, Dinah Atta Kisiwa of Nkranza South, polled 20 out of 42 votes, representing 47.6% of the total valid votes, while Joshua Buakra of Pru East District obtained 10 votes of the 23 votes, representing 43.5% of the total votes cast. We'll come back to the story, but Rafiq has joined this time on phone. Rafiq, so you were telling us a bit more about this one person who died after collapsing after approval of the MC. What more do we know about this person?
These two persons, I can tell you that are close relatives of the president nominee, who happens to be the Upper West Regional Communications Director of the MPP. Is the person of Ali Bukhari, who is the father of four. And so shortly after the West EC officer announced the results, so these two personalities were outside the hall, and so immediately upon hearing our results, so they collapsed in separate incidents, and so they were quickly taken to the hospital at Wechiau. And so the information that we are getting this morning from that community now is that one of the females who collapsed is alleged, one of the females is pronounced dead in that particular community. They are close relatives of the president's nominee.
Right, so when next are we expecting the approval vote to be held again?
According to the Upper West Regional Minister, the results that was announced by the EC, talking about 15 no, 26 yes, 15 of the votes said yes, 26 of them said no, means that it's a total rejection. And so claim means that for him to come back to the assembly, he needs to be re-nominated by the president for him to come back to the assembly. But for now, it's total rejection, and they don't need to give him another chance to come back. But the information that we are gleaning on is that, after the incident, the outgoing district chief executive, Edwin Library Sabo, was nearly lynched by supporters of the nominee because he was accused of being the mastermind of the rejection yesterday. And so because of that, supporters of the nominee pounced on him, and then the police were the ones that they saved him if not he would have been lynched. And that was what happened at the West capital at Wechiau.
Have we had any reaction from the nominee who was rejected?
For now, we haven't gotten any reaction from the nominee. As I told you that some members of the NPP are blaming him. They are pointing to he himself as being the one who caused for his defeat. The information that we are gleaning on is that since his nomination, he has not gone to any of the assembly members. He has not campaigned. He has not spoken to some key members of the party who think that are against him. And so because of that, the people rejected him. And so the blame for now is laid squarely on him.
All right, thank you very much, Rafiq Salam, for that update.